it takes one, what did the Joker say? It takes one bad day. This man didn't have one. He had a lifetime full of bad fucking days. They fucked with this man's mother. They manipulated her. She gave up everything to this fucking church. And guess what happened? They got butt fucked. He said, I'm gonna murder y'all. I'm gonna take y'all down. And then the government, everybody else gonna do the next. This man is a legend. Something about Japan. I'm bored.
Japan was shaken to its core when Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated. See, Japan is a peaceful country with an incredibly low homicide rate and rarely more than 10 firearm-related deaths per year, which is impressive.
Nah, 10 firearm-related thefts is crazy. Only 10? Shit, compare here in America, everybody got a fucking gun, you know? But you know what makes Japan, I don't know what it is about Japan. It's small but big at the same fucking time, right? This tiny little fucking island has done shit better than America, than China. China, you got stab fucking shit. But like, I don't know what it is, bro. Like, how does an island do something that the rest of the world can't? Or at least my own country. It's weird. Like, I don't know, maybe their politics are a little more presentable. Or some people say, well, Japan's culture is polite, kind, and how you raise people. Yeah, America was the same fucking way. But then other people just started shitting on other people just because of their environment, how they were raised, their family, or such and such and such and such. It's fucking ridiculous.
For a country of 124 million people. So the fact that anyone, let alone a political figure, would be slain in broad daylight was incredibly shocking. After the killing, more and more bizarre details started to emerge.
Has blamed the religious cult for bankrupting his family.
From homemade weapons to a religious cult and corruption at the highest.
See, yeah, I believe there is definitely a lot of more corruption in Japan. Like, people talk about corruption in America, in the States. There's more corruption outside of the States that is wild. And it leads to that type of shit, religious cults, bitch-ass niggas. People are like, well, I have a religious cult. I said, well, you drinking Jesus juice. Jesus juice ass motherfuckers. I can't, bro. I really can't be out here, like, having fun with this shit. Because it's true. Like, motherfuckers out here be drinking the Jesus juice out of nowhere. Just once you hear religious cults, I ask myself, I'd be like, damn, bruv, that's the life I live too. When they talk about religious ass cults, they talk about everybody up your ass. And now you got niggas dying by it.
Levels of politics. Nearly 2 years later, it almost seems now that the killer actually got what he wanted. A deep investigation into the religious group that destroyed his family and infiltrated Japanese politics. What happened here is...
That is the most light Yagami fucking thing in the world. Nigga said, he said, so my plan, right? My plan, right, is I'm gonna murder this Japanese leader. And then I'm going to have them investigate this evil religious group that destroyed my entire life and my family's lives just because I want them to be exposed. And yes, I'm going to go to jail for a long, long fucking time, but they're going to expose these evil, evil fucking people. And guess what? The whole conspiracy is going to be broken wide open. I am Light Yagami. That is exactly what I'm thinking. Like, he Light Yagami'd them. Like, what's going on?
One of the craziest things I've ever had to look into, and the fact that this was even possible is the most unbelievable part, as you'll soon learn. Understanding how a cult took over Japan starts with the understanding and assassination of Abe. Shinzo Abe was a polarizing figure, known for his nationalist views and deep desire to rebuild Japan's military. Abe came from a political family.
Okay, some of y'all that don't know about Japan, before he says he was a nationalist. What nationalists, I've learned, care about the nation they're from. So nationalists, nation, country, men, it's in the fucking name, right? They care about their country. They care about their country's military, finances, infrastructure. They care about their country, right? More like a centrist. Like, I'm centered only on this, but they call them a nationalist because they only care about their nation. National, nation, it's in the name, once again. So they care about that shit so fucking much. I don't know why, personally, but there's a whole fucking reason of why they care about this the way anyone else does. It's kind of like your parents. No one cares about your parents more than you fucking do, because that's a fact. That's a fucking fact. Nobody cares about your parents more than you. Nobody cares about you more than your parents care about you, depending if you got the good parents, not the bad parents, or the good aunties, uncles, not the bad aunties, uncles, right? He cared about his country so much that he was going to restore Japan's military, which I tell you right now, Japan back in the days, they said Japan murdered, raped, destroyed, assassinated, killed. As Japan in the olden days was a giant, a military giant. That's why China hates Japan, because of like the invasion, because how close they were. It's a whole fucking hullabaloo. But that is something that I believe somebody didn't want, that military and that whole infrastructure to be rebuilt, because then Japan gets put back on the map as a foreign or international threat eventually, if they ever want to say, well, fuck with us, we have military guns, weapons, blah, blah, blah. We're not just about anime and peace and fucking hentai. We gonna fuck your shit up, because Japan used to be a very bad place. So he wanted to rebuild in a positive way, just in case anything happened. But, he kind of turned on his head, flattened.
His father was a lawmaker and held minister-level positions, and his grandfather was prime minister in the 1950s.
Makes
Abe
sense.
briefly became prime minister in 2006, and then staged a comeback in 2012, ending up the longest-serving prime minister in Japan's post-war history. Even after his resignation in 2020 due to his ill health, Abe remained undeniably influential, continuing as president of the Liberal Democratic Party that dominates Japanese politics. He continued to give speeches and other sporadic appearances to aid his party, but mostly retired from political life until suddenly he was assassinated. But first, very quickly,
He retired from political life, then got killed. Okay, big fella, I believe you, I guess. It doesn't make any sense from maybe the angle I'm looking at, but okay.
The former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has died after being shot while giving a speech at a campaign event.
this is Tetsuya Yamagami. At first glance, he hardly has the portrait of a killer. He was born to an affluent family with a construction business, but the important part of this story is that the control of the family business fell to his mother after his father died. His mother joined a religious sect infamous for manipulative fundraising practices. She fell for their tactics and proceeded to donate all of the family's funds to the church.
I would have stone cold stunned my mother. I would have drop kicked Jesus out of her. I would have been like, both feet. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why did you see? I thought a grown ass adult could put themselves in financial debt, but the fact that your own mother, your own madre, could put you in financial debt like that sucks. It sucks. You know what else sucks? The fact that your own parent can do that to you. Don't get me wrong. I see it also as kind of like, why would you do that? Why would you put me in that type of situation? Why would you put us in that type of situation? Because it sucks to be in any type of debt with your family. And now it's like, well, if I'm in debt, fuck you. But okay, here we go.
Leaving them in complete ruin to the point of bankruptcy. She continued donations after the bankruptcy, even when her children were going hungry. Yamagami's uncle...
See? Brainwashing, man. Ain't nothing better than a cult. This is why religions are the ultimate cult. Nobody will ever tell you this. I'm going to tell you this now. Religion is like a crazy ass cult. Yes, religion does help, but there's other sides of religion like this that are culty. She won't stop donating because her kids are also going hungry. She wouldn't stop donating after bankruptcy, and people are starving in her house that a mother so brainwashed to the point where she is now donating money to the point of starving her children. I would have choked a bitch. I'm sorry, but the name is Fat Man for a reason. If I would ever went hungry, my mom was giving money to a church, and I found this out in my early teens, I would have broke her legs. No offense, Mom. Not saying I would have, but like if I was one of these Japanese kids and this was my mother, your arms and legs wouldn't have been working for a whole year. And we would have had money. And I would have told you, see all the finances that I was able to do after we broke your arms and legs, in Minecraft, not for real. But like, This is devastating. The fact that she kept donating and donating. You're flat broke. What are you donating? Your spleen? Your liver? Stop, stupid bitch. Let's go.
Tried to help support the family financially, but his mother gave this money to the church. The resulting financial situation was devastating to his family, preventing Yamagami from attending university and keeping his brother from badly needed medical care. In total, she gave over 100 million yen, or over 650,000 US dollars at current rates, to the
650,000 US dollars? That's enough for a down payment on a house, car, a wedding. Oh my God. This cult was strong with this was not just a cult. This was the devil incarnate. Oh my God. What are you doing, mama? Nah.
cults. But the third element of the story to understand is the cult that ruined Yamagami's family. This is the Unification Church, whose followers are sometimes referred to as the Moonies, after its founder. It's a cult of personality centered around its founder, Korean national Sun Myung-moon. The religious group began in 1954, just after Korea was split in half by 3 years of brutal war, and less than a decade
North
after
and South Korea,
Japan's 35-year tyrannical occupation came to an end. During these trying times, Moon created his own sect of Christianity, the Family Federation for World Peace.
See what I talked about religion? Motherfucker made his own sect of Christianity. What?
And Unification,
He split off from Christianity to make his own religion and said, fuck y'all.
also known as the Unification Church. This church presented Moon as a messiah who came to earth to lead man to redemption, ridding followers of original sin through perfect families.
Those
Moon
white people?
preached that arranged marriages blessed by him would be without
Oh, no,
sin.
white people. There's white people. The stupidest motherfucker. I thought it was just the Japanese. It's anyone who's that dumb to get fooled by the dumber bullshit. Shit. Might be a cult leader. Might as well be a cult leader to have followers and money. Jesus, man. How do you get fooled? How do you get bamboozled? How do you get hoodwinked? How do you get butt slapped so hard? I can't.
And thus give
I will
birth
never.
to sinless children.
2,000 couples arriving at a stadium outside Seoul, South Korea for a mass wedding.
To set an example, Sun Myung-moon and his wife Hak Ya-han had 14 children, but their plan for perfect children clashed with reality. One of his daughters ran away from her arranged marriage,
Of
one
course.
son ended his life, and another founded an offshoot militant cult of his own. The entire belief system is almost secondary for this cult, acting more as a source of funds and influence for Moon. He used the cult to set up and buy companies, lobby against communism, fight LGBT rights, and above all, fundraise aggressively. After successfully spreading his cult in South Korea, Moon moved on to Japan. But having grown up during the Japanese occupation of Korea, the cult leader had a deep-seated hatred for Japan and its people.
This man was no joke. He said, I hate these Japanese ass motherfuckers. No offense to Japan. He said, I hate Japan. I'm going to ruin these people's lives. I'm going to take them down. And he did.
Despite this hatred, he found common ground with Japanese politicians in their dislike of communism, the ideology that had recently split Korea in two. Moon was a fervent anti-communist, denouncing it as evil and investing church resources into propping up political parties that supported these ideals. These parties included Japan's right-wing Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, which has dominated Japanese
Ayo. I don't know why LDP sounded a little crazy. I ain't gonna. Ayo.
politics since 1955, with only 2 brief interruptions. It's the same party Shinzo Abe
I feel like the fact that somehow religion and politics, a cult and religion somehow came together. No, a cult and politics somehow came together is very fucking telling about the world we live in. Because niggas will use religion every day until I live and breathe. Motherfuckers will use religion and politics to butt fuck us into fucking submission. Because listen, you can believe in any religion you want to. I believe in whatever I believe in. It's none of your business. But the fact that some people use shit to control you and butt fuck you is crazy. They will. They will mentally and financially fuck you, especially a cult. The moment a cult got into like the public side of dealing with other people, you've lost. You fucking lost.
Abe would later become a member of. In fact, the church's ties to Abe's grandfather, Nobusuke Kishi, go as far back as the 1960s. The Unification Church started providing donations to the LDP and sending church members to work as secretaries for party officials, and the link slowly grew stronger. Eventually, the church gave...
Man said, we're going to use the church, the cult, and we're going to finance this group, which is political party. Gang.
Large donations and mobilized its followers on behalf of the LDP. The ties between a conservative Japanese political party and a South Korean cult might seem odd at first, given that the nationalistic LDP...
But there's money. They don't give a fuck because money is involved. No one cares about a cult or religion. As long as you got money, as long as you can shell money into it, they care. Oh my gosh. Time to elevate and do more of the standing, because I've been watching a couple videos.
Nationalistic LDP denies many of Japan's World War II era war crimes, including those committed.
See, that's also part of it. It's like we deny Japan's World War II era crimes is crazy. Nah, that's history. You can't erase history. That's what a lot of people talk about when it comes to like religion, religious subsections, or even people who believe in something. Once you start deleting or moving around history, niggas start looking at you like you a bitch.
In Korea, but it didn't matter to Moon because the connections with the LDP allowed the church to skirt oversight as they expanded in the country with aggressive tactics. They set up shop on college campuses under a fake name, and once believers were hooked, they aggressively extracted as many donations from them as possible. A routine tactic was to claim that a person's departed loved ones were in hell and sell a ticket to heaven for their soul, often in the form of overpriced trinkets. The media caught on to this tactic and
Jesus Christ! What? Yo, these people got some tactics. They just like, hey, your loved one's in hell. Damn! You gotta pay for them.
public pressure forced the church to abandon it. Still,
Of
they
course.
continued to use other methods to manipulate Japanese believers into donating as much as possible. This is the kind of manipulation that Yamagami's mother fell for. Gave everything to the church, leaving her penniless.
See, giving everything to a church is kind of crazy, but it's also something that does happen. Like, this woman was so manipulative and controlled that she gave everything to this church. And it kind of shows you where her willpower was. She had none, but it also shows you manipulation tactics that are very strong, right? If someone is able to use their words, that silver tongue, if somebody is able to use their words like that, and they can trick you into giving up anything, who's a bitch. Who's a bitch?
Angered by how the cult had ruined his family and his life, Yamagami decided to act. Yamagami first sought to off Hagyahan, Moon's wife, but never got close enough despite years of trying. Yamagami identified connections between Abe and the church and thought
This man was a detective before the detectives got involved. I'm telling you, there's nothing greater than a man on a mission. This is why you don't fuck with somebody's livelihood or their lives. A man on a mission is a dangerous thing, ladies and gentlemen. Learn that now. Because if he was putting this connection together and police or the government wasn't, he was on a fucking mission to ruin these people like they ruined his life. I respect it.
that in his position of power, he helped spread the church's influence across Japan. He ultimately settled on Abe as his target and set his plan in motion. He made a weapon by himself and tested it in the wilderness. He was fired from his job for repeated absences, and with mounting debt, Yamagami was running out of time.
I'm like, this man said, fuck it. I'm in debt. I'm fucking mad. Telling you, bro, a man on a mission will risk everything. Man will risk his livelihood, his job. Shit, he'll risk everything for some for some payback. Y'all don't know. When you don't know, now you know, motherfucker. Crazy.
He eventually went through with it, ending Abe's life and setting in motion a surprising set of circumstances.
Of course he
Abe's
did.
sudden demise shocked Japan and the world as the first political assassination in Japan since the start of the Second World War. But as details on the case emerged, an underground web of connections and corruption unraveled.
I love it. I love it, man.
Pushed the cult's shady political dealings into the spotlight. The revelation of
beautiful.
Yamagami's motive sent the media into a frenzy, scrutinizing every LDP member's ties to the Unification Church. Investigations quickly revealed that of the 375 Liberal Democratic Party members in Japan's legislature, over half had connections to the church, including Japan's education minister, which
That's what you get. Stop what you get. You fucked with the wrong person at the wrong. It takes one. What did the Joker say? It takes one bad day. This man didn't have one. He had a lifetime full of bad fucking days. They fucked with this man's mother. They manipulated her. She gave up everything to this fucking church. And guess what happened? They got butt fucked. He said, I'm gonna murder y'all. I'm gonna take y'all down. And then the government, everybody else gonna do the next. This man is a legend. He's a fucking hero. Fuck. That's what I'm talking about. This kid may have assassinated somebody, and yes, he murdered someone, but he did it for the ultimate good and reasons, because he ain't gonna put nobody else in the same situation like his mother or him and his sister. This guy is a legend. He lost everything, but now guess what he at? Probably in jail, eating 3 square meals a day, and he has nice, uncomfortable clothes, and knows that he took this motherfucking religion down with his bare fucking hands. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a man! That is a fucking champion, a fucking legend. You can't tell me nothing. Yes, he murdered somebody, which is still bad, but he took down an entire organization with one shot. Oh my God. You know what they say? They say you only got one shot. If you miss, you miss. This man did not miss. Shit. That's beautiful.
Which oversees religious bodies. Since the assassination, the LDP and the current Prime Minister's popularity plummeted from 50% to just over 20%. The religious scandal is not the only reason, but it's certainly a major one. To what extent the church has influenced policy remains a mystery. Lawmakers and church representatives remain tight-lipped. However, outside observers believe the church has been in decline since Moon's passing in 2012, selling assets like Moon's
oh my God, that's his mansion? I would have killed him too.
luxury retreat.
Not really, but I would take that mansion. Sell it.
And his businesses. After all, the story of a new Messiah arriving to save humanity doesn't hold much water when the Messiah is no longer alive. And the perfect family teachings ring hollow when Moon's own sons are bickering over their inheritance in court. In response to the investigation's discoveries, the Japanese government has moved to dissolve the Unification Church in Japan, citing their fundraising tactics. However, the trial is still ongoing, and the first hearing took place a few days before this was written. With the church likely ordered to dissolve in Japan, the group is said to have begun pressuring their US-based believers to donate more. We'll have to wait and see how things play out.
Nah.
As for the assassin himself, he was arrested at the scene and pleaded guilty. Many are sympathetic to Yamagami, seeing him as I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation, but Shukyu Nisai, or in English, a child of a cult member forced into a manipulative belief system. An online petition requesting his sentence be commuted got over 13,000 signatures.
A win is a win. A win is a motherfucking win. Listen. He won in the best way possible. This man, number one, he played GTA in real life, and then everybody was like, nah, he a victim. You a victim. You a victim. That's amazing. That's the most gay. They were like, he's a victim of circumstance. His mom is a bitch, and she put him in those circumstances. That's crazy. Let's go.
There were protests against holding an official state funeral for Abe, and some even showed up to the protest cosplaying as Yamagami. The whole situation leading to the assassination and its aftermath are just mind-boggling. I'd be curious to hear your take on all this in the comments, but that's it for this video. Thanks for
He took that, nah, bro. Shout outs to this channel right here. Shout outs to OBF. Shout outs them out, because bro took out an entire organization with one shot. You only get one shot. The general public has rather more positive sentiments towards the assassin is all it said. Yeah, I agree. The fact that the general public did agree with the assassin makes sense. I was unfortunately born into this religion, always had a feeling that something was off. My parents were brainwashed into worshiping Moon, a false message, who claimed he is Jesus. Nah, see, when you claim to be Jesus, that's crazy. My dad wasn't his college degree for his religion. He spent all his time fundraising, working like a slave for Sun Young Moon and his family. So did all of the other church members. That's crazy. This video doesn't even scratch the surface of what goes on behind the cultural churches are a tax-free business, and Moon died with a net worth of what the fuck? No, that's a huge, yo, is that 900 million? Listen, I've had $900, but 900 million net worth is crazy. Meanwhile, all the followers lived in a absolute poverty. So I understand why Tessasi Yama did what he did, because this church ruined not only his family, but millions of others as well. Yes! Yeah, that's why I said a legend. Listen. You know what I mean? Listen. Oh, I do not like that Unification Church has an HQ in the U.S. Yeah, I don't like it either. I agree with him. You ever do some research and find Unification Church? Shut them down. Destroy them. Wipe them out. Because it's crazy that they even have a base in the United States. Let's continue.
Shit.
Getting bit on drum. You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill. Some of you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
I ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like all them niggas. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah,
niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story, so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.